What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. Right now I'm going to talk about Agatha All Along, Episode 4. So far, I've liked this show. Episode 1, I didn't care for. I thought Episode 2 was really good, really fun. I thought Episode 3 had this nice escape room aesthetic to it. I thought Deborah Jo Rupp's character was really funny. I thought that there was a lot to like in Episode 3. So here we go with Episode 4. It's another trial. All right. Last week, after episode 3, I kind of predicted that they would have a trial an episode, kind of like an escape room scenario, and that's definitely what's happening here. The problem is this one wasn't good. This episode was not a good episode. And it leaves me feeling mixed on Agatha All Along as a series so far. Now, I know there's still some time to go. I still could end up very positive on the show or very negative on the show. Right now, I'm specifically talking about episode 4, and episode 4 for me was a big letdown. Number one, it does look like Deborah Jo Rupp's character is dead. Without her comic relief in the show, I definitely think the show is going to suffer. There's a lot of drama, witchy drama, but still drama in this show. And Deborah Jo Rupp's character did a good job of offsetting that drama with some fish out of water comedy. And I feel like without that there, we're going to miss it. And I did miss it in this episode. They addressed her death early on in the episode, and like I said, I don't like it. I would have preferred her character stayed a part of the show. But then we get to our next trial. Our next trial is again an escape room type environment. This time the focus of the trial is on Alice. And they're brought back to maybe like a 60s, 70s disco club, disco bar, and the way out of the trial is by having a musical number. And again, it's a variation of the same song that they sang to open up the road. I get it. The writers must really like this song. I preferred the version of the song that got them onto the road. This one, it just became a little redundant. And I guess there's just something about Disney, witches, and singing that just really kind of, Disney's trying to make this happen. Problem is, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. It feels cringy, it feels forced, and in this case, it was repetitive and redundant. And then we get the flying demon that burst into flames when they defeat it. And it got me thinking. Remember when the MCU was Iron Man developing technology to save people? When it was Captain America risking it all by taking a super soldier serum to try to defend humanity? You know, when it was Thor being outcast from his world to learn the lesson to be selfless? Remember those days when it was Black Widow, a powerless individual who is trying her best to erase the red in her ledger by doing good for humanity? Those days are over. And all this episode did was it made me yearn for the days when Marvel was more grounded, more believable. It's always been fantastical, right? It's always had those fantasy elements to it. But it always had kind of a groundedness to it too. Like, okay, this is a fantasy world. There are alien planets. These things exist. But here are the rules. And we're going to stay within this box. We're going to stay within the box that these rules are established in. And this just feels... I watch Agatha All Along, and I think to myself, no, this doesn't exist in the same world as the first Iron Man. It does, but it doesn't feel like it anymore. And that's what they did so well in the first 3 phases of the MCU, is even though there were different tones, different worlds, different things happening, everything felt like it existed in the same universe. That's not the case anymore. And I think that's one of Marvel's biggest weaknesses now, and one of the biggest hurdles they have to overcome was it doesn't feel like it's in the same world anymore. I watched the trailer for um, Captain America: Brave New World. I watched the trailer for the Thunderbolts, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Those don't exist in the same world as Agatha. Not only are they tonally different, it feels like the rules are different as well. So this episode was a big letdown. It was nice having Aubrey Plaza's character back. Um, Rio, and I'm not very familiar with her, a comic book character. I don't know how faithful it is to the comic book character. And to be honest with you, I'm not all that familiar with Agatha as a comic book character. Um, but this episode just didn't work for me. It felt redundant, it felt repetitive, and it felt just completely separated from what the MCU is. I don't know. We'll see if it gets better in episode 5. But that's my take on episode 4 of Agatha All Along. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. While you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.